Hi, my name is Leslie Calamise. I'm the Deputy Director of the Office of Lender Activities and Program Compliance. Today I'd like to talk to you about the FHA Lender Approval application. Our goal is to reduce the number of application rejections due to common mistakes, so we've put together these tools for success. Remember, this presentation is in no way a substitute for reviewing the FHA approval guidelines. I'm going to share with you the things you need to know before getting started, which parts of the application institutions tend to struggle with, and common yet avoidable mistakes. So you ready to get started? All right. The first thing you need to do is review Doing Business with FHA section of the Single Family Housing Handbook. This covers approval and eligibility requirements for both Title I lenders and Title II lenders. Okay, so you read the chapter? We don't expect you to be an expert, but after reviewing the chapter, you should be able to answer these following questions. What type of institution am I? Do I meet net worth liquidity requirements? Do I have all required documents assembled and ready to upload? Do I have the right point of contact? Do I qualify for FHA approval? Now let's discuss the tools you'll need for a successful application. Designate an application point of contact who is knowledgeable about the institution because we will reach out to them. For maximum performance, we suggest using Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. However, you may use any browser of your choice. Be sure to prepare all required documents based on your institution type. Incomplete materials will delay the processing of your application or cause a rejection. A perfect application can be approved in 2 weeks. An application with errors takes much longer. It's important to know that your credentials will expire in 120 days from the day you create them, not the day you submit your application. Completing these steps prior to starting your application improves the likelihood of success. Let's talk about some common yet avoidable application mistakes. All DBA information or entries must correspond with the institution seeking approval. Corporate officers must meet minimum standards in accordance with the Single Family Housing Handbook. There are specific documentation requirements for each institution type, so please familiarize yourself with these requirements. Be sure to correctly enter your institution's tax ID and NMLS number. The same goes for entering Social Security numbers for corporate owners and officers. There's a strict eligibility criteria for corporate officers, so review the guidelines to make sure you don't submit an ineligible officer or someone affiliated with another institution. All institutions except government applicants are required to provide a copy of their state-issued lending license or registration. The license or registration must be in an active status and reflect current authorization to conduct lending business in the jurisdiction where the home office is located. You're required to answer a series of certification statements. If you must answer no to any of the certification statements, please submit a detailed explanation and supporting documentation. To meet basic eligibility requirements, your audited financial statement must include a computation of adjusted net worth and an opinion of adjusted net worth from a CPA. Do you know your institution type? Well, if you're a bank or a credit union with membership in the Federal Reserve System, are insured with FDIC, or regulated by the National Credit Union Administration, you're supervised. Corporations or LLCs with principal activity in lending or investing of real estate mortgages are non-supervised. If you're a holding company that invests funds under its own control, you are investing. And finally, if you're a federal, state, or municipal government agency, a Federal Reserve Bank, or a Federal Home Loan Bank, you're considered government. Now that you know your institution type, let's move on to financial requirements. Supervised, non-supervised, and investing institutions must submit audited financial statements that align with their fiscal year end date covering the last 12 months. If the institution is operating for less than 12 months, the audited financial statements must cover all months of operation. You're also required to have a GAAP audit, $1 million net worth, and 20% of adjusted net worth in liquid assets. Non-supervised institutions must meet the principal activity requirement. Government institutions are exempt from these requirements. Remember, this is in no way a shortcut, so be sure to review the detailed requirements in the Single Family Housing Handbook and the HUD OIG Audit Guide. Let's recap what we talked about. We can process a perfect application in 2 weeks. An imperfect application takes longer. Your login credentials will automatically expire after 120 days from the date they're issued, not the date of the application submission. Know your institution type and submit documentation that corresponds to your institution type. Many common application mistakes are avoidable, such as incorrectly entering a tax ID number or DBA name. We will communicate with your application point of contact, so he or she should be knowledgeable about your institution and be able to answer any questions about the application. If you must answer no to any certification statements, be sure to include supporting documentation and any additional details that will help us evaluate your application. We're here to help. The FHA Resource Center is standing by, ready to answer any questions you have. Give the FHA Resource Center a call at 1-800-CALL-FHA or 1-800-225-5342. Don't forget to access our FHA lender page and visit the online frequently asked questions portions of our website. Thank you for your interest in becoming an FHA approved lender.